and follow him behind. Weight stacks quietly on every rule. Expectations pile like steel. Guidelines bend and suddenly cool into shapes that feel too real. Whispers turn to courtroom tone. Urgency sharpens the air. What was flexible hardens to stone. Fairness thins under glare. Deadlines loom like watchful eyes. Tolerance shrinks to scale. Exceptions drown in alibis. Mercy flag to fail. Heat rises without flame. Pressure earns its name. When strain repeats without relief, force becomes a form of sense. Survival it is believed in a strict coherence. Pressure turns law written in strain. Pressure turns law etched by pain. Pressure turns law firm and raw. Pressure turns law because it must draw. System, stiffen under load. Moral laurels learn to brace. Compassion slows the code. Efficiency wins the race. Leaders speak in narrow frames. Nuance priced too high. Every crack that stress proclaimed becomes the reason why. Rules born from desperation stick long after danger fades. What saved us once turns rigid quick and will not be persuaded. Device forgets release, mistaking calm for peace. If law is forged in urgent fire, remember heat can scar. What protects us when we tire, make H who we are. In the ship coherence, pressure turns law burning strain. Pressure turns law etched by pain. Pressure turns law firm and flaw. Pressure turns law, remember all. The load eases slightly, structure remains. Echoes of tension for a long measured stretch. The weight is felt in when nothing Stamps hit paper with final sound. Signatures dry and ink, variables drop out all around. Options vanish quicker than blink. Corridors narrow to one. Result debate exists the room. Uncertainty pays its last install. Replaced by a certain doom. We feel relief mixed with dread. When maybe it's finally gone, the future stands straight ahead. Indifferent, locked and drawn. Closure arrives without consent. Not caring how we feel. Certainty just intense. Turn brutally real. Outcome sealed tight, no appeal. Outcome sealed tight, iron real. Outcome sealed tight, and inside. Outcome sealed tight, day or night. Regret audits every choice, pride reviews them too. Memory speaks in a neutral voice, asking what was true. The verdict doesn't argue back, it simply stands. Time enforces every act. The steady hands we learn to live inside. Results, not dreams deferred. Responsibility exiled. Where's excuses were heard. If fate feels cruel in final form, remember we shaped the mold. Every step before the storm helped the ending hold. Outcome sealed tight, bear the way. Outcome sealed tight, love away. Outcome sealed tight, bear the way. Outcome sealed tight, bear the weight. Outcome sealed tight, love or hate. Outcome sealed tight, face the light. The echo of the gavel fades. Silence stretches firm and long. The decision lingers in the air, unchanging for many measured moments. bated breath on the wall of the room. Alarms dissolve into air, bar a second finally assume the shape of what's fair. Schedules collapse into a single beat. Urgency sharpens the floor, every promise mistakes a sea. Waiting at the door, we lived like time was elastic, forgiven and wide. But now the margin snaps to static, no one left to hide. The last rain falls without sound, endings quietly crowned. There's no extension to request, no buffer left to spend. The present hardens into test, where means and ends suspend. Time has expired, the window shut. Time has expired, the future cut. Time has expired, hear it ring. Time has expired, feel everything. Memories rush like unpaid debt, faces we meant to call. Choices postponed now, collect interest on them all. We see how long we traded now for comfort and delay. The cost will rise without a bow, demanding full pay. Panic fades into clarity, strange and clean, because certainty strips vanity down to what's been. The clock doesn't judge or lie, simply lets us try. If regret blooms at the final time, let it teach, not bind. The truth of running out of time is knowing what we find. Time has expired, no appeal. Time has expired, stark and real. Time has expired, stand inside. Time has expired, nothing denied. Time has expired, nothing denied. The ticking stops, a hum remains. Steady and bare, the moment stretches on, unrepeatable, holding its ground for a long while. This girl steps slowly, then all at once. Tension hum between the sides, symmetry holds with brittle poison till pressure decides. Every compromise stacked with care, every gain offset by loss. We believed equilibrium was fair, a permanent truth at no cost, but weight accumulates unseen. Patience was thin, the midpoint was always a screen hiding the spin. Now the axis starts to screen, split in the seam. When balance fails, it doesn't bend, it chooses left or right. The moment center cannot defend becomes a verdict side. Balance breaks here, here and crack. Balance breaks here, turning back. Balance breaks here, lines up here. Balance breaks here, crystal clear. Yeah, no true words lose their disguise. Fences sharpen into blades, every stance demands a side. Indecision fades, friendship strain under the tilt. Ideals slide apart, fairness buckles under guilt. Measured by the heart, the fall isn't sudden, it's earned by all we refuse to weigh the lesson finally learned. When even ground gives way, if harmony dies where forces meet, remember why it's bliss. Some truths cannot stay complete, they only coexist. Balance breaks here, hold your ground. Balance breaks here, choose your sound. Balance breaks here, don't revere. Balance breaks here, persevere. The pieces settle unevenly. Silence hums with strain. For a long suspended moment, nothing feels level again. Drive ignites beneath my skin as the city stretches out like a battleground waiting to be claimed. Breath sink into the metallic hum rising from the pavement. Each step sharper, heavier, charged with a heat that pushes me beyond the threshold where hesitation dies. Momentum surging like a storm, gathering intent as the night braces for impact. Lights mirror into into streaks of urgency, sirens dissolve in a rhythm. My pulse locking with engines and neon glare, resolve hardening as gravity feels optional. Purpose compressing into forward motion with no retreat encoded. Pressure coils thick and electric, pushing me to break faster. Strike harder, let the fire take command as I accelerate past out. Muscles humming with voltage, vision tunneling toward the apex, fear shedding like debris and slipstream. Timing razor thin, instinct calibrated to the second as restrained evaporate. Tyrant drive, roaring through the dark. Tyrant drive, roaring through the dark. Every heart beat a declaration of force. Every step rewriting the ground beneath me, blazing forward with the surge too fierce to restrain. Built to dominate the night, crowned by velocity, baptized in sparks. My shadow stretched long by the blaze I cast. Sparks flare behind me as the streets twist into a gauntlet of noise and resistance. Each breath rising into a sharper blaze, carving through the choke of shadows that try to pull me back. But the charge inside grows wilder, feeding on the pulse of ambition that refuses collapse and insists on ascent, pushing me further into the storm where power becomes identity. Rails vibrating, rails blurring, mistakes burned away by speed, intent distilled into a singular climb. When the climb trembles and the world leans in, I unleash the surge within, letting it fracture every barrier, every whisper of doubt, expanding until the night bows to the blaze I carry. Pressure flipping into lift, limits splintering like glass, silence shattering under the roar of conviction made kinetic. Tyrant drive or roaring through the dark, no force strong enough to mute the rise. Every step burning brighter as I tear through the noise. Unstoppable, electric, driven by the fire that owns my path. Velocity signing my name across the skyline, ascent locked, fate re-implied.